Do you know that China's power grid workers sleep, walk, and eat in the sky? I'm not kidding, I swear. These people are crazy enough to work 100 meters up from the ground on a tightrope daily. It's their job. And without them, the lives of over 1 billion people would be completely different. Today, we're going to learn about China's power transmission technology and the dangerous lives of those who keep it. But before we continue, share your thoughts with us. Would you be afraid to work so high up in the sky? Let us know down in the comment section below. China is a big country with over 1.4 billion people. So, how do you get electricity for everybody safely and effectively? The answer is through ultra-high voltage power transmission technology, or UHV for short. Since the early 2000s, it became clear that UHV was the answer to China's increasing energy demands. China is a big country covering an area of approximately 9,597,000 square kilometers. Just so you have an idea of how big this country is, traveling from Beijing to Shanghai is a 1,200-kilometer car ride. It takes 12 hours. It's the same amount of time it takes to get from London to Salzburg, a route that passes through 4 different countries. The point is, China's primary energy resources are far away from central areas. Besides, energy demand is exceptionally high. With a population of over 1 billion, UHV transmission is essential for solving the disconnect between high energy resources and demand. UHV has been enabling the distribution of excess electricity from western to eastern China, helping those with significant energy demand in the east of China. It's also got other advantages too. UHV power results in losses of only 5 to 10% over many thousands of kilometers. It also offers a decrease of 25% per unit in cost compared to lower voltage options. But how is this technology implemented in the country? China's research on UHV technology began in 1986, and it remains vital in scientific and technological development programs. The country's made many breakthroughs, like completing the 750 kilovolt power distribution and transmission project in northwest China. This showed the country's rising status as a powerhouse in designing and manufacturing power distribution and transmission equipment. However, even after 20 years of work, there were still many technical issues to be solved when the construction of the first 1,000 kilovolt AC transmission line was approved in 2006, connecting the southern Shaanxi province to Jingmen in Hubei province. One of such issues was a 1,000 kilovolt transformer, a key component for UHV transmission. The engineers had failed twice in making a functional component, but they didn't give up. And after more research and review, the transformer passed the test in June of 2008. This paved the way for a new era in Chinese technology, where the country became the leading force in energy transmission. Since China introduced its first UHV transmission line in 2006, they've become the world's leading example of progress. Their power transmission network has 35 lines spanning 34,500 kilometers, with 450 terawatts of power transmitted every year. Development of the UHV restarted in 2018, and by 2021, at least 5 new lines have been completed. This is the future. So, the investments just keep on rising. In China's most recent 5-year plan, the 2 companies responsible for the transmission are going to up their game with a combined $500 billion investment. State Grid plans to invest $350 billion by 2025, while the Southern Power Grid also intends to invest $150 billion in this timeframe. Record-setting in the money department is far from the only venue for China. As of 2022, the country holds the record for the world's tallest transmission towers. These twin towers stand at 385 meters in height. With a 61-meter advantage, these twins make the Eiffel Tower look like a shorter, underaged sibling. As if the size wasn't already impressive, each tower stands on the side of the Yangtze River, the longest river in Asia. The river's width is also quite extraordinary, and a distance of 2.6 kilometers separates the towers. The towers connect power lines in Taisao on the north of the Yangtze and Wuxi in the south. As of June 2022, 24 electricity wires weighing about 410 tons are being installed high above the river. The project is expected to be completed in July of the same year. The execution of this project is such a technical difficulty that water traffic control had to be implemented to ensure the safety of construction. That's certainly a complex operation. Are you impressed yet? I bet you learned a lot so far. To keep watching awesome videos like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It means the world to us. As we've seen, the technology behind power transmission in China is impressive, especially considering the size of its massive towers. But there's still one more component that makes this an essential enterprise: and not just for China, but for the entire world. That is UHV's potential to become a beacon of green energy, leading to renewable energy development. Some notable efforts have been taken towards the realization of this idea. For instance, the State Grid Corporation of China is responsible for China's first UHV line that transmits mainly solar power, which opened in 2019. The 1,600-kilometer-long high-voltage transmission line goes from Qinghai to Henan. Its starting point is the photovoltaic power plant in Longyuan. In 2020, the corporation established the first large-scale power collection network in Zilin-Gol Prefecture in Neimengu. These endeavors are proof of State Grid's compromise to getting closer to a carbon-neutral energy collection. The company has stated that it intends to reach 105 gigawatts of combined transmission capacity by 2025. Unfortunately, a future filled with only renewable energy is far from a reality. Coal is still the primary energy resource in China. The renewable energy transmitted through UHV lines is 43%. And even though it's expected to reach 50% by the end of 2025, China is going to take more time to ditch coal altogether. Still, the future for renewable energy looks promising in China. And that's why the power grid workers are even more vital than you might have thought. These men risk their lives daily, walking from one tower to the other on a tightrope, all so that people can have electricity in their homes. And is it the prospect of working so high up in the air wasn't hard enough? They gotta deal with more. Power grid workers' routines are arduous. They wake up at 5 a.m. to work on the towers, and they come down at 7 p.m. And climbing the tower is such a challenging feat that they don't bother going up and down to have lunch. To make things easier, they pull down a rope so their colleagues on the ground can tie their lunch, which they bring back up. Sometimes exhausted workers will even sleep on the lines. Even with a safety rope, that's still a hard scene to watch. After all, humans aren't like birds that can fly and won't be bothered by an electrical current. So, do you know why birds can't be electrocuted in power lines without protection gear? Well, that's because electricity doesn't move through birds' bodies. Its legs have the same electrical potential with both its feet on the line. The electricity stays only on the wire if the bird doesn't touch the ground or any other object. Pretty cool, huh? Still, birds can be a problem for the UHV lines and the maintenance workers. Most of the time, the worker will remove the birds' nests found along the high-voltage lines. But a visionary alternative has been implemented. In Chisao City, a worker called Wu Chunlin now watches over birds and protects their nests along with the 35-kilometer high-voltage lines he works in. The city sits across the Yangtze River, in the middle of a vital bird migration corridor. So it's no surprise that the birds take a walk on the lines. According to Wu, the workers used to remove the birds' nests whenever they were on the towers. However, the birds would quickly rebuild the nests in the same locations. So now, the workstation established don't touch the nests unless they threaten the safety of the power grid. However, suppose the nests are hidden in dangerous locations and prone to cause outages or accidents. Well, in that case, they're relocated to someplace nearby. So, what do you think of the power transmission technology in China? Do you think it's better than other countries? Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more similar content, you can watch our video about how China turned cliffs into shocking highways. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.